Hello, my juicy co-creators. Lilou here. I'm in England, actually in Windsor, not too far from the Windsor Castle, with Linda. Hello, Linda.
Hi, how are you?
It's such an honor to be sitting next to you.
It's great to be here, and thank you so much.
Oh my goodness. This is Linda's a humanitarian. You have had a profound life-changing experience in '96, and here you are now helping so many people. And we're gonna talk about leadership, being a magician in life, making the impossible possible, being there for others, how it feels great to follow our heart. All of that are notions you have deeply embedded in every cell of your body, because this is what truly matters, isn't it?
Yeah, passion, purpose, and playfulness.
That's juicy, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. And there is, I'm holding here your very new baby, the Marmalade and Machine Guns that Richard Branson actually, he's on the cover here. Linda makes the impossible possible. Oh, that's where I got that from. I just jumped in. But what a great adventure. I love adventures. Tell me about what brought you to take on this adventure and go to different countries and help and be a frontliner. What?
Well, it was interesting. I mean, from a very young girl, I always felt that I was going to do something big in the world, but I had no idea what at all or how I would do it. And I was a nurse, and I loved my nursing. Absolutely loved it. But even then, when I was nursing, I knew that I live in England. And basically people in England have everything they can have access to, really. And I knew that my mission in the world was to help people in the worst places on earth, in the hellholes of the world. I wanted to really go to make the biggest difference I possibly could. So that was my mission. And I knew somehow I would do it.
And you put yourself in those situations where everybody go out, you get in, and you pull other people in. Yeah. It's fantastic. I mean, she brings some business leader and say, "Come on, guys, now you're gonna find me a solution right there," and they love it. People love it.
They do. They love it. I mean, it's so interesting because it's my passion to go to the front line, but passion is a magnet. Of course it is. Yeah. So I go there and I can see what the situation is. And because during my aid work, I always work with the private sector, because the great thing with the private sector, they never fail. They never want to fail, and they want to have a high success rate. They have a business approach to anything. Mm-hmm. So even when they're helping a challenged community, it's like, this is going to succeed. And they come with their most creative brains. They're successful business people. So they will come. And yes, I know it is my energy and my passion and my inspiration that draws them. They also know I've been there, I've worked on the front line for a long time. But they're curious. And of course, everyone does like an adventure. And if you live a very safe life, you live, we take all these things for granted, like our electricity and our water and, our safety. We live in safe countries, we have cars, we move around, good communication. And often they're quite curious as to what it's like living somewhere where we don't have those facilities, where we don't have running water, where we don't have what we're used to. So I think that also attracts them to make a difference and to step outside of their comfort zone and see what happens.
Tell us one of the stories of when you were in Thailand, for example, or any other one that pops in your mind. How we can sometimes it's right next to in front of our eyes, but we don't see it. We don't see that there is huge potential right there.
Yes, it was a very interesting story because I was in Thailand after the Asian tsunami of Boxing Day 2004. And to start with, because as a nurse, I was in the survivors camp helping with my nursing skills, but I was looking to see how I was going to be able to really make a difference. And it was when the mums and the dads would come to me and say, "Linda, will you take care of our children now? All our resources are gone. We have no money. We were working in the hotels as the bellboys, gardeners, cleaners, laundry workers, and the hotels are gone. The way of earning a livelihood is gone. We have no way now of earning money." And all these alarm bells would ring in my head as if to say, this is not right. It's you will create beggars in people if you just keep handing out. And my whole motto, all my aid work is a hand up, not a hand out.
So you're firm about that one,
Yes, no chance. I tell you what, you just create. Yeah, you could tell.
I could see the leadership right there. Boom. Yeah, You see it. I mean, you go for it.
Yes, no, definitely. And so I went back to Bangkok, to the city. I met with my business leaders that I'd gathered together, who all wanted to help, of course. And they had given at the beginning, as you do in an emergency phase, the water, the blankets, the tents, which is so needed. But there comes to a cut-off phase. Now we have to empower people to have self-esteem, dignity, stand on their own 2 feet, feed their own children. So I said, right, guys, we have a situation here. We have this, the level of education. They are the gardener's bellboys. You haven't got this rocket scientists here. This is the capacity. These are the skill sets. They've lost everything and they're grief-stricken. But we need to help them to earn money. They have to survive on their own. And quickly, absolutely. They couldn't go on a 6-month training course to retrain. So I asked them to come with me. I took them down to the front line. And I was lucky enough and had a little bit of charisma and passion. So I knocked on the door of the head of the Admiralty, who was in charge of the recovery for the tsunami. And I said, I need to get these business people around the worst hit areas as fast as possible. Can you give me 2 helicopters? And I think the guy was quite shocked. But when I explained to him why and what the purpose was about actually, we were there for one purpose. And that was to try and give these people the biggest hand up we possibly could and get them back earning money. So he gave it to me. So off we went around and they landed and they spoke to the villagers and they looked at the geography and really had a very in-depth, intensive experience for those 2 days. They went back to Bangkok and they started looking. And business people have this great way. Everything is market driven. They're not going to say, make 100 cushion covers and we might be able to sell them. No. They have to make sure that there's a market. They're never going to suggest anything that will fail because it doesn't look good, does it? Mm-hmm. So I had these brilliant brains all working on how we were going to do a hand up with these villagers. And they came back to me and they said, we've done all the research, we've got the business plans, and we've got this idea we want you to share with the people who have lost everything down there in this worst hit area after the tsunami. And they said, lining the coast behind where the wave hit are acres and acres of rubber trees. They'd done the market research, and as still today, market is a great commodity. You use it in your rubber for your shoes, in tires, and it comes from trees. They said, their grandparents would have harvested this rubber. It was only the attraction of tourism that turned them away from that to working in a glamorous hotel. So, and I said, well, what sort of cost is there involved in that and the training? And they said, well, literally they need one knife, which scores the tree to get the rubber out of the tree, and a mangle, which might cost $100, and that could be for a community. So I went down to the villagers and they said, yeah, of course, our grandparents did that. Yeah, we just had forgotten about it. Well, yes, we can start doing that. And if there's a market in Bangkok, we can produce it. And it was overnight success because these brilliant businessmen had come down and looked at something not from a handout perspective, not from a sticking plaster, well, what can they do quickly to make a little bit of money? This was market driven. A business plan had been drawn up and it all been properly assessed. Within months, they were earning way more money than they ever earned as a bellboy or gardener. I went back 2 years, 3 years, 5 years later, they're still successful entrepreneurs. And that's what the business leaders brought to a major disaster, which I think I can say quite honestly, very few charities would have had the capacity to see something like that. It took a businessman, a businesswoman to go down there and see such a great opportunity.
Well, an outrageous request as well. You made an outrageous request, and sometimes it feels that our requests are a little bit small, and that's another insight right there. It's to get out and dare.
Yes, it is to get out and dare, and it's also to ask for help, to ask people to get involved. And I think that's something that I have inside me where I think if you don't ask, you don't know. No is a small word and it's just for that moment, and it's fine. You're doing it for a good purpose. You're doing purpose and passion. You're doing it to make a difference in the world. And if people do have the chance to be able to help, they love it. And often you need to ask people. And that's a great story that happened to me after the tsunami, because I could see there was so much grief in the camps. And I knew, because it's part of what I do is in my family, but I knew we needed to bring laughter and that healing capacity into the camps, which was so grief-stricken. And what did I do? I called home and I asked the magic circle to see if they could provide me magicians. I mean, and I tell you what, people often call me crazy. I'm used to that. But actually, I knew it would work. I knew it would. So I called home and I remember my father, as if it was yesterday, saying, Linda, this is really crazy. You're in the biggest disaster that's happened for many, many years. And you're asking for magicians? What good can they do? I just said, trust me. Please trust me. And luckily, the head of the magic circle put it out to the team, and one magician arrived within weeks. And you should see the healing that he did. Of course, no language is needed. He couldn't speak Thai, it didn't matter. He had his colourful balloons, he had his magic wand, he had all his props. The healing, the smiles, the laughter, we could see through all the artistic work the kids were doing, their colourings. The colours were changing from black to blue as they healed their souls. And the teacher said the kids were smiling for the first time ever. So every single person can make a difference. But ask people. And you're giving them a gift by asking them.
I could feel the guys. I could feel you, co-creator, out there watching this right now. You're getting very excited, and you're like, I want to go there. I want to help. I'm ready to travel. Where do I sign up? Because there's so many ways. I know that it's inspiring to see others do their life purpose and travel, and we can all do this if we want to, right? I mean, there must be agencies, associations. You build up Be the Change Academy, all that. Could you share a little bit, because I'm sure a lot of people listening right now are ready to maybe take a plane or jump or help, or I think we need to gather as communities and really come together, move and dare and do this jump and feel something different and be there for another.
Yeah, there's many, many, many ways. And I've set up Be the Change business leaders at the front line because I have seen such great transformation where business people can actually come and help. And it's not about money. It's about using your skills, your brain food, your entrepreneurial acumen. Value your skills. Look at yourself and what you do in your day-to-day life and what you share with the world. And you can apply that to a challenged community. And that challenged community does not have to be the other side of the world. It can be in your own suburb. It can be literally just down the road. But do look at your own skills and what you love to do, what makes you feel happy. And that usually is the thing that you should be sharing to help other people who are less fortunate than you are. And it could be that you love telling stories, writing stories. It could be that you're great at sharing and communicating. It could be that you're a magician. It could be that you're a great mum and a great cook, and you can go and make something for someone else or share recipes. But making a difference is addictive and the most rewarding thing you can possibly do. And I would say for everyone, the more you can incorporate that into your life, the happier you will be. If you want to get overseas and help, it is a very intensive way to transform your life, no doubt about that, and there's no going back. And I know that with my business leaders. When they come with me and you leave, you step out of your comfort zone, you step out of knowing that you can turn on the tap and the water comes out and flick a switch and there's the light. When you really step out of your comfort zone and go to some of these more challenged communities in the world, you start to really appreciate what you've got. You start to be thankful for all the blessings in your own life. And that has such a heart-opening effect on your life that will never leave you, ever. And my business leaders often say to me when they've come back into their normal life that they are changed and that they have that blessing, that attitude of gratitude, that feeling of thankfulness never ever leaves them. Also, when they come to these very sort of impoverished and challenged areas and they see how happy the people are with nothing, absolutely nothing, and the unconditional love and the generosity, again, has a profound effect because we tend to think that we need things around us to be happy. But when you go to communities and you see the joy and the improvisation and the dancing and the singing and the silliness, the joy, It's also another great lesson.
But being authentic, being authentic is essential here, even for in your big requests and when you're going to different countries, showing up as just who as we are is essential right now. I feel this world needs more and more authenticity and authentic people living on it.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why, go back into your own heart and soul. Look at really what makes you happy and do it through that selfless, unconditional, no agenda. Go do it and be there because you really want to be there. And it is that authenticity that literally melts hearts, doors fly open, things happen. You make the most amazing friends. Just come from your own place of giving. Your own abundance, and that's not money, that's coming from your heart and soul. Then everything just melts, the doors open, definitely.
How do you see abundance?
Happiness. For me, happiness, really. I have nothing against money at all. Money is brilliant and great and enables so many wonderful things to happen. But abundance to me is the level of happiness that we have in our lives, the amount of happiness that we can share with other people. The joy and the happiness to me is my idea of abundance, definitely.
So the heart is playing something there, is doing something, huh?
Yeah, you bet.
Fully, boom, boom. We can feel it. You're on a mission. Well, thank you so much for this powerful conversation. You wrote Marmalade and Machine Guns. And you're on a roll, you're traveling the world, and I look forward to meeting you again, maybe on the other side of this planet. We'll see. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Lovely to meet you.
Much love, my delicious co-creators. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love and sharing this beautiful video with as many people as possible. Bye.